Hi, this is Matt, and you're listening to Bluegrass Jam Along, the podcast for anyone and everyone who plays bluegrass. Hey everybody, this is your Bluegrass Briefing for Monday the 24th of April 2023. News. Got a new interview coming for you this week with singer-songwriter Rachel Bayman, whose record Combination of Sorrow is out now. Great record, really interesting conversation. I'm just finishing that off now, and that's going to go out on Wednesday this week. So keep an eye on your podcast platforms and your social channels and all that. I will let you know when it's out. And if you want me to just send you a link when it is out, then sign up for the mailing list, which is in the show notes, is on the website, is on my social channels, and I will send you an email. But yeah, that's it for podcast news. So that brings us on to Church Street news. And in this week's Church Street news, a couple of things. Notice that the sort of gig streaming platform mandolin.com is ceasing to function, and I think that was something that really helped a load of people through various lockdowns and shutdowns and COVID times, just to see some gigs they couldn't have seen, to see some gigs at all, to get an audience, to have an income stream. So it's really sad to see that go. There's been some great stuff on mandolin.com over the past few years, and it's a shame to see that it's not there. I guess maybe it's trickier now. Venues are open again, but yeah, just, that was a good thing, and I'm sad to see it go. There's other things out there, there's other ways of seeing this stuff, and maybe that's something that will continue and in the years to come. But yeah, sad to see mandolin.com go. And the other thing is Natalie and Brittany Haas have a new record coming out in May. You will know them from all sorts of things, including Hawktail and various other projects they've got going. But yeah, that'll be an interesting one. I haven't heard any of that yet. I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, I'll give you a bit more info on that and a release date nearer the time. But that's going to be exciting, I think. That's it for news and announcements. I'm going to go on to The Grass is New. So, new releases. As I just said, the Natalie and Brittany Haas record is coming out in May. There is a single off that now called Free Space and Real for Dennis, which is out. I'll put a link in the playlist. I haven't listened to it yet, so I'm looking forward to that. But that's going to go in the Grass's new playlist. Go and have a listen to that. There's also a new Leftover Salmon single featuring Billy Strings, Blue Railroad Train. So I'll put that in the playlist as well. Again, haven't had a chance to listen, so I'm looking forward to listening to the playlist this week. And new single from Dan Tominski, Hey Brother, the track that he did the vocal for Avicii, I think you remember, a while ago, is a big hit. And there's a version of that with his new band, and his new band are great. So do go and check that out as well. That's also in the playlist. And then three things. I mentioned one of these last week, a new Tony and Wyatt Rice duet record. There's three records on acoustic disc, David Grisman's label, that are new to me, and are all fairly recently out as well. One is Tony and Wyatt doing duets together, which was recorded across 2 nights in the summer of 1996. Big mix of stuff, fiddle tunes, songs, some Tony stuff, some jazz, just great recordings of two guitarists at the height of their powers. Do go and check that out. Then there's one of the Tony Rice unit on New Year's Eve in 1989 at the Birchmere, and another record of the Tony Rice unit live at the Birchmere in 87. And both of those are Tony, Wyatt, Jimmy Gaudreau and Mark Schatz. And they are just phenomenal. Just three wonderful, wonderful live albums. I don't think they're on streaming platforms. I think you need to buy them from acoustic disc, but they are really highly recommended. The quality is great, the recording's great, the playing's great, the mix of material's great. They're just, really, really good documents of musicians just absolutely smashing it. So do go and listen to those. And that's it for Grass is New. So that brings us on to Scroll On Buddy, the various bits that I've spotted on social media. And the first bit is Yamaha have a new guitar called the FG9, which is like a high-end, it's not a cheap guitar. It's going to cost you a couple of $1,000s. It's a Japanese-made sort of high-end dreadnought. And the reason it's making a bit of noise is because Jake Eddy and Jordan Tice have been getting behind this. And there's some videos of them playing these guitars online. I'll stick a link in the show notes to one in particular, which is Roll On Buddy. Obviously, I had to go for that one. But yeah, it's like two cool players who seem to be finding something interesting in this guitar, and I haven't seen one, I haven't heard one, but I'm just interested to see what's going on with that. So go and watch the video. I'll put a link to Yamaha's website and some details. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what the sort of the buzz is about those as more people get a chance to play one. It's an interesting project, and just be interesting to see where that goes. And the other thing that I'll stick a link to in the show notes as well that I noticed on the Instagram feed of Tone Slabs, pick manufacturers, a little video, and they put together these little accessories that are a bit like a nail buffer, really, with different grades of polishing surface. And you can buy a nail buffer, that's fine, you don't need one of these, but it's a really interesting one because they talk you through how to use one on your pick and how to maintain your pick. And lots of us buy these sort of $30, $40 picks and then just play them and that's it. And it shows you how to really simply maintain them and keep the bevel clean and straight. And I know that's a really interesting, useful bit of info. So I'll go stick a link to that in the show notes. Go and watch that. Only take you a couple of minutes. Could make a big difference to how we use these picks. I think it'd be really interesting. That's it for Scroll On, buddy. And so, sort of moving on swiftly to what's been in my ears this week, and it's been those Tony Rice live records, really. I've listened to the Rachel Bayman record quite a bit for the interview I did with her, but I've listened to the Tony Rice live stuff a lot and absolutely loving it. But I've also been reading Bill Malone's book on country music USA, which has been updated, and it's an epic mammoth thing, and it's a great read. But as I go, I've been listening to the stuff that comes up in that. So at the moment, I'm on the sort of first decade of that, and been listening to some Riley Puckett, listening to some Jimmy Rogers and some Carter Family, been listening to various bits of old-time music, some of which I knew already, some of which I didn't, and that's been really interesting as well, just to sort of fill my ears with a slightly different sound. Those old recordings are really cool to go back to and hear some of the roots of all this. So that's where I've been this week, and that's pretty much it this week. Short and sweet. Don't forget, do sign up for the mailing list. Links here, links on Instagram, links on the website. And on the website, you'll also find a list of interviews, all the chord charts for the Jam Along tracks and all that kind of thing. And keep your eyes peeled for the Rachel Bayman interview on Wednesday. But that is it. I will see you next week with another briefing. Have a great week and happy picking. Bluegrass Jam Along is proud to be sponsored by Collings Guitars and Mandolins, making some of the finest guitars and mandolins in the world since the 1970s. Visit collingsguitars.com and find out why.